Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Madden 20 Tournament Super Bowl. It's the Green Bay Packers and the Houston Texans in the Super Bowl. Ladies and gentlemen, you see the Green Bay Packers. You see the Houston Texans. It's at Hard Rock Stadium, home of Super Bowl 54. In Miami. Here come your Green Bay Packers, the NFC champions, who beat the Seattle Seahawks in the NFC Championship game. As Aaron Rodgers leading that Green Bay Packers team. And then we look on the other side with Deshaun Watson and the AFC champions, Houston Texans, in Miami. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Matthew. I'm along with my broadcast partner here for Super Bowl 54, Eric. How you doing?
I'm good. Let's start this game off.
Well, you see there, Bill O'Brien, the head coach, Matt LaFleur, for the Green Bay Packers, Aaron Rodgers. A familiar sight for him, Deshaun Watson, his first Super Bowl of his career. And you see Deshaun Watson in the captains coming out to the field, along with the Packers captains as well. Aaron Rodgers already with one Super Bowl ring, trying to add another. As you see the coin toss, Deshaun Watson and Aaron Rodgers. And it is time for the Super Bowl. You see DeAndre Hopkins. There are your Houston Texans team. Bill O'Brien sends out his Houston Texans. You see Tyler Ervin back deep to return the opening kickoff for Super Bowl 54. There is Fairbairn on to kick it away for the Houston Texans. Eric, it is time for kickoff here in the Super Bowl.
The wait is finally over.
And Eric, you are correct. Fairbairn off to kick it away, and we are underway here in Super Bowl 54, the first Super Bowl tournament ever played. And here is Irvin on the good return, down to the 26-yard line. And Eric, this is going to be a very hyped up game here in Miami tonight.
It is, and it's going to be a big one. I'm talking about scoring offensively and defensively. As we go back to that NFC Championship game the Texans had against the Titans, the Texans' first points of the game were a defensive fumble that Ryan Tannehill fumbled the ball, and the Texans took it in for 6.
And that is a pass to Lazaro for 29 yards and a first down. And Eric, this Houston run game had a very, very good game against the Titans in the AFC Championship game. And so did the Green Bay Packers with Aaron Jones, who's in the backfield now on first down. Handoff to Jones. Jones down to the 37-yard line, gain of 9. And it brings up second down and 1 for the Green Bay Packers. With now Jones on the sidelines, Jamal Williams in on second down and 1. From the 37, Lewis in motion right. Here's a handoff. Williams is going to get the first down to the 34-yard line. As Aaron Jones back out on the field after missing the last play on 1st and 10 at the 34-yard line. 2:25 and counting to go. Here's Jones, handoff again, and this time nowhere to go. Played perfectly by Brandon McKinney. Second and down and 11 for the Houston Texans defense. Second down and 11 at the 35. 2 minutes remain. Here's a handoff for Jones. Jones again down to the 29-yard line. Third down at 6. And Eric, this is going to be a big play on third down. You're in field goal range, but you also want to get a touchdown on the opening drive in the Super Bowl.
You do, and this one is sacked. Aaron Rodgers brought down by Gibson Sr. That one is a big loss, a loss of 9. As this one brings him all the way to the 39 for a 56-yard field goal.
Crosby now to put it through the uprights. Here's the attempt. It's down the middle. It is no good. Crosby just short of the field goal attempt. And it gives the Texans the football at their own 46-yard line. And Eric, that is huge for Deshaun Watson.
That is, and that's going to be a game changer entering this game. Seeing how Deshaun Watson plays and how they figure this one out. As this one is fumbled! Deshaun Watson fumbles it! And it's picked up by Green Bay at the 48-yard line!
So the field goal didn't matter. Watson runs it. He gets a fumble recovery. And the Green Bay Packers pick it up at the 48-yard line. 1st and 10. Green Bay with 56 to go in the first quarter. Here's a handoff. It's Jones. Jones up the middle, down to the 42-yard line. Gain of 6 for Aaron Jones, who, Eric, he's already off to a good day here in the Super Bowl.
He is, and that's going to be a big part in this game, depending on how this one ends up. Aaron Jones is going to have a great game, and the Packers are going to rely on him, and they're going to rely on him to get the run game going.
As Jones comes out now, 3rd down and 5, it's Williams instead. Williams, handoff. Williams is down to the 39-yard line, corners over. 4th down and 1, and we will see what Matt LaFleur wants to do. It's another 56-yard field goal attempt. So 4th and 1 at the 39-yard line. And this defense now, here on 4th down. Here is Rodgers. H fullback dive. He's got the first. It's vital down to the 36-yard line and a Packers first down. And Eric, we talked about the risk of going for it on 4th down. It was risky there, but it was indeed good enough for the first. Here's Jones. Jones makes a move. Jones past the first down marker to the 24-yard line. And in for a Green Bay first down again is Aaron Jones, who, Eric, we've seen a lot already here in this first half.
We have, and they're just figuring out how to utilize him. And the only thing this Texans team is not doing is figuring out how to work around him. Keep him from getting a lot of carries. Keep Rodgers from handing him the ball, and have Rodgers trying to throw the ball. Because they're going to need that. And having this run game doing as well as they're going to do, it's going to be a long game. Having to figure it out.
Here is Jamal Williams to the 17-yard line. Gain of about 6, and it's 3rd down and 3. With Jamal Williams, he's also been pretty busy, as well as Aaron Jones, as he's now in for the 2nd straight play. Here's another handoff. Back to Williams. Williams inside the 10, down to the 5, and it's 1st and goal, Green Bay. With the 2-minute warning now striking. All three timeouts remain for the Packers. All 3 timeouts remain for Houston. No score yet. Packers had the football first. They field goal, no good. Now the touchdown in Williams, 6 for the Green Bay Packers. And they're first to strike here in Super Bowl 54.
And now we will see Deshaun Watson in his 2nd play of the game. His first play didn't go so well, a fumble taken by Green Bay and ended up in 6. But you could always have a bad first drive and dominate the second drive.
And Eric, that is what Houston's going to need, because this Green Bay Packers team has this game moving along pretty quickly. Here's a man who had a kick return for a touchdown in the championship game. This time brought down to the 31-yard line. And Eric, as you said, we're going to see Deshaun Watson for the 2nd time in this game. He did not have the start he wanted to against the Green Bay Packers team. On defense, they hit Watson. Watson fumbled the football, and it brought the Green Bay Packers into a score. Here's a handoff. Lamar Miller. Room to run, still going is Lamar Miller. He stumbled a little bit, now down to the 34-yard line. What a run for Lamar Miller. And it's 1st and 10 inside the 35 to the 34-yard line are the Houston Texans. Here's a handoff. It's Miller again. Still on his feet. Down to the 27. Tripped up out of bounds. And this defense of the Green Bay Packers is really going to have to figure out how to stop number 26 in the backfield, Eric.
They are, and they're going to have to figure out how to stop him quickly, or else this one could be over by half.
Here's a handoff again for Lamar Miller. This time loses 2 yards on the stretch, and it's 3rd down and 5 for the Green Bay Packers defense. 45 seconds and counting here in the Super Bowl. Watson, pressure pass is caught. 1st down, 9-yard gain.
And that was Watson's first pass attempt of the game completed.
Here's Watson on 1st down. Here's a handoff again, Miller. Timeout, Green Bay. Well, remember, Eric, Green Bay will get the football to start the second half. And with 36 seconds left, Watson is yet to go deep. He's trying to limit that as most, as that's a run for Lamar Miller. Brings up 3rd down and 3 for this defense of the Green Bay Packers. Here's Miller. Miller on the run. Down to the 8-yard line in a timeout, Houston. And Eric, this is going to be a big couple of plays. You have 2 timeouts. Do you just go for the end zone here and try and get 2 plays in the end zone? If you don't get it, you got to go with the field goal here.
You do, because you are getting the ball at half. As this one is taken, as he stumbles at the 1.
With 9 seconds left. So here we go. Watson, handoff, touchdown, Houston!
The fullback!
They are within 1.
And Matthew, the fullbacks, had played a big part in this game for Green Bay getting a 1st down. And if you think about it, they've had 9 rushes and 1 pass for Houston in this game. 1 run in the first drive. The second drive, Matthew, having 8 rushes, only 1 pass. And that 1 pass was completed for 9 yards to a Fuller.
And that is correct. So here we go. From the 25-yard line, this is going to be a big play here for Houston. If they play it right, we could see something different going into the second half. If they misplay this football, we could see something totally different with 8 seconds left. You see the safeties, 3 safeties are deep here for Houston. Rodgers throws, pass, incomplete. They're going to get another shot. And that is a great move by Aaron Rodgers, going with the deep ball, throwing it up quickly to Davante Adams. And we all know where he might look again for Rodgers. 3-man rush. Rodgers, the Hail Mary King, will launch. Pass is dropped. And we're going to halftime. So it is halftime. Matt LaFleur and his Green Bay Packers. Bill O'Brien and his Houston Texans. 7-7 at the half. I was not expecting this, Eric.
And Matthew, Texans getting the ball at half. And let's look at what inspired this tie game.
As you see the pass to Aaron Rodgers, Lazaro, who made the moves down the sidelines. That was the big play. So here we go. Start of the second half. Eric, glad you're joining me. Can't wait to see what ends. So here comes Deshaun Watson. Eric, this has been a fun story to watch. It's been a great game to watch with Deshaun Watson. What are your thoughts entering the second half if you're the Houston Texans?
Well, you got to think about how to utilize this game in their pass game, as this one is not a pass, as this one is taken for a first down and more across the 40 to the 42-yard line.
And Eric, look at the numbers. 8 rushes now for Lamar Miller, 76 yards. He's had an outstanding day. But remember, those safeties back there, they've been pretty bored with no plays defensively.
They have. This one is tripped up 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
So that's a big play defensively by the Green Bay Packers. Second down and 12. Throws, pass, DeAndre Hopkins. Hit from behind by Desmond King and Blake Martinez, who Eric has gone and moved on to the New York Football Giants. Here's another run for Lamar Miller. And Eric, again, 10 rushes, 80 yards already for Lamar Miller. And those safeties back deep are getting kind of hungry.
They are, and eventually they're going to get a pass. But why would you pass the ball if this run game is working so well? Now we have 3rd and 2.
Here's
this
Miller.
one is a first down out across the 35 to the 33-yard line.
First down and 10 for Watson. Pass complete. Hopkins. Blake Martinez can't get him. Touchdown. Houston leads.
And that is a big thing for Houston. Many runs were happening. He saw the safety coming up. And he saw that D-Hop was on one-on-one coverage. Took it and he put it in for 6.
And that's exactly correct, Eric. So here we go. Now we get to see Aaron Rodgers. And Eric, I'm getting those feelings in my bones that we are going to see a down-to-the-wire fourth quarter here in Hard Rock Stadium in Miami for the Super Bowl.
We might see it again as the NFC Championship and the AFC Championship were down to the wire also, Matthew.
That's correct. Here is Tyler Ervin down to the 27-yard line, who he's been pretty busy as well. Not on the field. He's been sitting on the sidelines besides the kickoffs, which he's only really seen 2 kickoffs now in this game.
As Matthews, we bring you back to the Green Bay Packers game, where Green Bay was down 14-0 to Seattle. They got a safety, and they scored a touchdown. And then on the final play of the game, they scored another one to seal the deal and get up 16-14. And Matthew, let's also go back to the Houston Texans and Tennessee Titans game. They had a down-to-the-wire last second with 5 seconds on the board. They kicked a field goal to win it, as this one is incomplete, as they kicked a field goal down to win it, 45-42, the ending score for that Houston Texans game.
And Eric, now this brings up 4th down and 10. Is this the decision you would go with, going for it, knowing that this Super Bowl could be ending kind of soon? Rodgers, Adams!
Caught!
No kidding! Why not go to the best receiver in the NFL, Davante Adams, to the 34-yard line, and that's his first catch of the day, and it's got to be the biggest one of this game.
It does, and that's going to play a big factor on how they play the rest of this game. Trying to see what Davante Adams could do, seeing how well he could play the football, and also thinking about what are the odds that if the Packers win, Davante Adams could get player of the game, Matthew.
And that could indeed happen as this clock winding down to the final seconds of the third quarter. Could Rodgers get it off? He will. It's a pitch out to Jones. Jones sheds one tackle, now brought down at the 29-yard line. 3rd and 4 as we start the 4th quarter, Eric. No score in the 1st quarter. 7 points for each in the 2nd quarter. And now we're entering the 4th quarter.
And Matthew, to go back to that, the Texans did have one in the 3rd quarter.
Here's Rodgers, pass, Adams, what a catch!
Almost picked off. He did not see the football, but that one is in, and now they have 1st and goal.
So here is Rodgers down at the 7. First and goal. Here's a handoff. Jones up the middle, down to the 3-yard line. And Eric, you see the numbers. 10 rushes as well for number 30.
Yeah, but not as well as Houston has. He only has 41 yards. He does have 10 rushes and 11 rushes, but now 45 yards.
And there is number 33, Aaron Jones, for the touchdown for the Green Bay Packers. And they have pulled themselves again within 1, with the extra point from Crosby is down the middle. And this game is tied 14-14. And Eric, these drives put together by the Green Bay Packers, they've been more than 3, 4, 5 play drives. They've been 9, 10, maybe 12 play drives.
They have, and same thing for Houston. They had a 7-play drive and a long play drive. They're trying to milk the clock, Houston, running the football. And they've been doing so quite well.
And so far that has worked, Eric, but this Packers team is going to have to find a way to decrease that if they want to come out with the win. With UC Watson calling the plays out from the line of scrimmage. Pass is caught. Fells, Darren Fells was a big part in the AFC Championship game against the Tennessee Titans.
2 touchdowns. Yes,
With
Matthew,
2 touchdowns.
he had, as you said, the 2 touchdowns, as this one's across the 45 to the 46-yard line.
And Eric, again, looking at the rushing yards, we have not yet seen Carlos Hyde in this game. There's Watson, pass is caught. Hopkins again.
As that is his 2nd touchdown of the game.
And DeAndre Hopkins with minimal time remaining. 2:09 to go. And a Houston touchdown. And Eric, this game really will come down to the wire if so.
It will. And going back to the offensive breakdown for Houston, 15 rushes, 5 passes for Deshaun Watson, running heavily on that run game.
As you see J.J. Watt and DeAndre Hopkins, the 2 veterans there for the Texans. And Eric, it's really got to be sad to see this happen, but DeAndre Hopkins leaving the Houston Texans, I believe, to the Arizona Cardinals.
Yes, Matthew, he ended up this offseason, as this is not the real NFL. This is Madden football, and these teams were randomly selected, randomly seeded, and these teams were one into this game. They had to win their spot, as Devontae Adams brings this one to the 2-minute warning.
And again, Eric, this is going to be the play. Devontae Adams could be the game maker in this game. This game goes into overtime. Green Bay calls the toss. Green Bay has a chance to win the game before Houston does, as there's Jamal Williams again. Up the middle of the field, down to the 45-yard line. Timeout call, Texans. And that's not a bad idea if you're Houston. You want the football back. You got 2 timeouts remaining. The 2-minute warning's out of your hands. Williams again making moves down to the 48-yard line. Just past midfield, and it brings up 2nd down and 3 here for the Green Bay Packers and Aaron Rodgers. 2nd and 3, Rodgers throws, Williams complete. Williams makes and moves. Still going is Jamal Williams, nobody there. High steps, touchdown, Green Bay.
And that is that is a touchdown that ties up the game. But you still left Deshaun Watson a minute 16 left.
And now, Eric, if you're the Houston Texans, we will take a look back at this and show you. We will explain to you what happened with the overtime game a few weeks ago between one of the teams through the tournament, as this is a squib kick down to the 40-yard line, taken at the 41. A 13-yard pickup and run. And Eric, there is that man, DeAndre Hopkins. He's not been used very heavily in this game. He's got 2 touchdowns. But this is going to be a running drive if you're Houston. And there's a time, 7 seconds off the clock for the Houston Texans.
And talking about used heavily, this man, Lamar Miller, has. With 15 rushes, over 100 yards rushing.
Pass caught, Hopkins again. With the clock winding down. Here's Lamar Miller. Miller still going. Miller will go into the end zone. Touchdown. 43 yards for Lamar Miller.
Oh my. And going back to what we said about Green Bay leaving time left. Now Houston has left 21 seconds for Aaron Rodgers, the Hail Mary King, to do what he does best, and that's throw the ball up.
And that's exactly right, Eric. So here comes Aaron Rodgers. But first, the kickoff by Fairbairn. And we will see a return by Irvin. Try and get better field position for the Hail Mary King. Ball is out! And that would have ended the game if it wound up in the hands of the Houston Texans.
And it was, and if you're the Green Bay Packers, you're just, thank God, you're just so grateful that play ended up like that.
That's exactly right, Eric. So, big play coming. 1st and 10 at the 23. Houston only rushes 3. Rodgers down the field and incomplete.
And if they intercepted that ball, it would have been over again. But that leaves 8 seconds for Aaron Rodgers.
And Eric, you see the Texans playing deep on Rodgers, expecting one thing. Here's the pass down the field. Pass is caught. Does he have 1 second left? A timeout was called by the Packers. I don't know. There is no time left. Houston's going to win the game.
What a finish. Came down to the wire, as we said. But Houston will go on as your Madden 20 tournament champions. They will sit next to the Minnesota Twins from the MLB as our PS4 MLB The Show 20 baseball playing tournament with the Twins. And your Madden 20 football champions, the Houston Texans, are on top. And these are some highlights.
So you see the player of the game, DeAndre Hopkins. 4 receptions, 108 yards, 2 touchdowns. You see Aaron Rodgers. Eric, what a performance Rodgers did have at the end there.
Yeah, and I'm surprised with the player of the game calling it DeAndre Hopkins, who did have 2 touchdowns. But Lamar Miller had many first downs, many rushes, many yards. I'm surprised about that call, Matthew.
I totally agree with DeAndre Hopkins. Deshaun Watson hoisting the Lombardi Trophy for the first time in his career. And ladies and gentlemen, we thank you so much for watching. Deshaun Watson threw for 124 yards, 2 touchdowns with 100 completion percentage. Eric, thanks for joining me in the broadcast booth for these games throughout this tournament. We can't wait for the Houston Texans to celebrate. And now we welcome you to the final broadcast of the Madden 20 tournament. Coming up, stay tuned, because it's NBA 2K19 tournament. We played MLB The Show, we got Madden, and it's NBA 2K coming up soon. Just stay tuned. Thanks for watching Super Bowl 54, Texans over the Packers. 28-21, your Super Bowl champions, Houston Texans.